The purpose of this video is to summarise some of the main points covered in our Way Forward document for a safe resumption of club activity. More information on this can be found on our website under our COVID-19 section on the main page. Before sessions, all riders should sign up in advance. They should be reminded that it would not be possible to turn up at a session without advance sign-up. In returning to sessions, riders should be reminded that their details may be shared with NHS Scotland Test and Protect if someone at a later date tests positive for COVID-19. When signing up for sessions, riders should be encouraged to complete a self-declaration. This will confirm that they have not been in known contact with someone with COVID-19 in the last 14 days. They have not returned from a country that is not on the exemption list in the last 14 days. They are not currently displaying any of the three main symptoms of COVID-19, and they're not currently self-isolating as part of the Test and Protect programme. This is also a good opportunity to ensure that the personal information you hold about your members is as up to date as possible. Ask families or members to ensure that their or their child's bike is in good working order for a return to club sessions, particularly if it has been some time since we're last on it. Clubs should aim to reduce instances of coaches and or mountain bike leaders having to intervene to fix things unless absolutely necessary. There should also be no loaning of equipment at this time. Sign-on for each coaching group should take place at different locations to keep group sizes smaller and reduce any bottlenecks in your venues. Groups should be viewed as bubbles for the duration of sessions. Groups should not interact with each other and function distinctly. Riders, with the support of parents and guardians, should again be asked to acknowledge conditions of self-declaration upon arrival. All club volunteers should also be asked this on arrival at club sessions. All groups should have access to hand sanitizer to clean their hands before, during and after sessions as required. During sessions, parents and guardians must remain contactable. They should be able to collect their child at short notice should they display symptoms. If their child displays symptoms, they will immediately be removed from their coaching group and supervised from a safe distance until collection. The sharing of food and drink between riders is not permitted during sessions at this time. It is a personal choice for participants and volunteers if they want to wear face coverings during activities. The only instance in which they will be mandated is during the application of first aid and to make any trailside repairs to bikes. All volunteers should also have access to other PPE as required. The following guidelines on physical distancing have been provided by Sport Scotland. Riders aged 11 and under do not need to maintain physical distancing at any time. Riders aged 12 to 17 must maintain physical distancing before and after a session, but can form a field of play bubble which allows for physical distancing not to be observed during an activity. Coaches and leaders should aim to physically distance where possible, however it is recognised that this will not always be practical. All youth clubs should have appointed a COVID-19 coordinator. Their role includes the following: leading on the implementation of mitigating measures to reduce risk, keeping up to date with the latest guidance on how it affects your club, and being the main point of contact between Scottish Cycling and the club regarding the return to activity as we emerge from the COVID-19 pandemic. On Test and Protect, we produced a separate video which goes into this in more detail, but to summarise, if someone who attends a club activity develops symptoms of COVID-19, they must immediately self-isolate and request a test right away. The NHS Scotland Test and Protect team will then begin the process of tracing the contacts of the positive case. The details of the COVID-19 coordinator should be passed on to the NHS Scotland Test and Protect team if requested. The club will then pass on the contact details of all participants exposed to a positive case. The COVID-19 coordinator will not inform members if someone at the club tests positive for COVID-19, and it is important to remember that an individual's right to privacy must always be observed. Clubs should outline to members the extensive work that they have undertaken to understand the various risks involved with a return to activity, and outline the approaches they have taken to mitigate these risks. Initially, sessions should focus on reconnecting and building up bike fitness again before trying anything new. This should be with a view to reducing unnecessary burden on the NHS from accidents caused by activities. Thank you for listening to today's video on the return to club activity. If you require more information, firstly check out our website under the COVID-19 section, or send us an email at clubdevelopment@scottishcycling.org.uk.